quote-unquote UFC fighter Colby Covington has announced that he will no longer be involved in politics and says it's a dirty game. In the future, you won't see me actively involved in politics. I think it's a dirty game. Loyalty is never rewarded. Wow! The guy that's had the MAGA shtick for the past 10 years, I think, is coming out saying he's not getting into politics anymore because loyalty isn't rewarded. Oh, I could have told you that. You didn't have to spend a decade ruining your career by playing this character like an idiot. And of course, this all comes after it was announced that Colby Covington was, well, the UFC White House card was announced, and Colby Covington was clearly not on that card. I'll save you the 2 minutes he talks here, but essentially, the quote, what he said there was, I said I'd fight anybody just to get the opportunity to fight in front of my hero, Donald Trump, he says. By the way, on the Epstein files, that's his hero. So he said he would fight anybody to get that opportunity, and we thought that he should have fought Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel is on the White House card now, but he's going against Kyle Dawkins. That's not a great matchup. The Colby matchup would have been very good, but obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And then he follows it up by saying, what the fuck am I supposed to do to earn money? I have a lot of bills to pay. Maybe take a fight outside of glazing a country. Like, you have not fought in quite a while, and the last time you did, you got your ass kicked, but we'll get to it. But maybe take a fight? Is that a crazy idea? And going off kind of the first title I said here, here's a short clip about Colby talking about it himself.
I love Trump. He's a great guy. I'm not really so politically. I think in the future, you won't see me campaigning. You won't see me actively involved in politics. I don't want to be it. I think it's a dirty game. I think that loyalty is never rewarded. And yeah, I don't really want to be a part of it anymore. My dream before was like, I want to be the governor of Florida. I want to be a senator. I want to be a congressman. Now I'm like, nah, I just want to do business with real American beer. I want to be an RAF, and I just want to mind my own business in peace. I don't want to be.
But he found out politicians don't care about you, and now he's all about, I want to protect my peace. Crazy. Um, Obviously, Colby Covington has had quite the excuse recently as to why he's been such a bad fighter. Colby Covington said he hasn't fought this year because he was trying to help Donald Trump get elected as president. Now, this was back in November of 2024. So obviously when Trump was running for the second term. And this was back in 2024, even when he wasn't fighting. He said, everything I do is for God and country. That's more important than my own selfish agenda to go win UFC fights and be a world champion. You're not even a politician, dude. I was obviously still getting healthy from my broken foot, but first and foremost is God and country. So Colby's been a lapdog since the first presidency. He's constantly wanted Trump's attention. He took the interim belt, which is very embarrassing. Just like Yair Rodriguez getting his own custom interim belt. He took the interim belt to the UFC White House and took a photo with Trump sitting at the desk. And it's so pathetic that Colby even back then wasn't fighting. Again, his inactivity is one of the biggest tragedies of the welterweight division because I felt like if he was consistently active, the dude made it close with Usman, to be fair. Like, he did get finished, but he got finished in the second, in both of them, right? Or he went the decision in the second one, I think. But, like, the dude could have been something good outside of that if he just stayed consistent, kept the tools sharp, and got better. But no, he sat out for years, it felt like. Sometimes just ducking bad matchups for him, obviously glazing Trump. And look where it's got him. He now has no fight on the White House card. Trump just laughs at him. He even openly said, I bet against you and won many times, like in a backhanded compliment. And Colby's wasting his career away. And even now that he doesn't have the White House card, what is he going to do? Because back in, what was it? This month. Colby Covington said he'll be done with UFC in 1 year. For the UFC in the next year or so, I'll probably be done with it. My body is slowing down. And Colby said he was going to take like one more fight. If 1 year is how much we have left, then we're probably not going to see a Colby Covington fight. The guy has not fought in I think, over a year. And where is this activity coming from of going, I want to fight. I'm going to be done with UFC soon. Brother, your activity is terrible. Last time we saw you was in December of 2024, where you got doctor stoppage and you were getting your ass pieced up. Before that was a whole year later, where you lost decisively to Leon Edwards. Your last win in the UFC was Jorge Journeyman Masvidal, who's now coming back to the UFC in 2022. I was 17 years old, and I'm almost 21 at this point. So you have not had a good streak. You have not been active, whether through injury of your foot or fault of your own. It's hypocrisy. And the last time we saw you out there, you looked terrible. You couldn't get anything going. You were getting brutalized on the feet, and you couldn't get any takedowns. You got one takedown at the end of the third round. You got no real dominant position or ground and pounder submission threat with that. And what has it all led to? Nothing. You've wasted your UFC career away. Your body can't hold up to whatever you're doing, drinking Bang energy drinks at a crisp 38 with a hairline like that. And all this glazing of an already blatantly corrupt politician has just done nothing for you. You look like an ass. You were working the shaft for him, and now he's just pushing you to the side. It's pathetic from Colby, and it's laughable to see this. I got really sick of this shtick after a while. Obviously, if you looked into Colby's upbringing in terms of the UFC, he was kind of put on an ultimatum in his last fight where they said, you're not entertaining, your style's not entertaining, we're not going to re-sign you. And he turned heel in his last fight in Brazil, called it a dump, the iconic moment, became the MAGA, or at least like the right-wing America First guy. And that's certainly a role to play. Hokit's trying to do it miserably, but he took it too far. He literally became friends with like if you are an American, not even in this day and age, back then when this photo was taken, 2024, he was not a favorable person. Like, a lot of people didn't like him, and that's going to exclude you from a lot of fan bases, essentially. And you just did all this instead of fighting. So now that you have no fighting fan base, you have no political fan base. You've completely wasted your time. You've wasted our time telling us that you're going to be back, you're going to be a champ, you're the people's champ. Look at you. You suck. Like, your interim belt was a fluke of a win. And it'd be hilarious if your last fight in the UFC was a rematch against Jorge Masvidal and he chins you. That would be funny as hell. Watch them do that. Did I just call that? Hold on. Nah, but let me know what you think of the situation. Do you feel bad for Colby in a sense? Do you think he was really trying to, stick with something good in long-term form? Or do you think he was just being, a suck-up and was just trying to get in buddy-buddy with, the execs before he knew that his fighting career would run out? Because a lot of fighters do this. You either, start a business with what you do in the UFC, you network within the UFC, or you become part of the UFC. You have to make money after you fight one way or another. And he chose to take this route, and clearly it was the wrong route. But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I got a topic piece coming out on Tuesday about the recent UFC matchmaking, because holy piss poor. But we'll get into it on that video, and see ya.